Alright everybody, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing a quick recap of the summer break of 2025. Today guys, if you guys did not know, is my last day of summer break, and it's been a wild summer break. We started this whole summer break journey back on May 22nd, and now here we are nearly 2.5 months later, and we have already reached the end. It's gone by super fast, and a lot of cool stuff has happened. So let's go ahead and do a little quick recap and review on what happened here this summer for this channel. First up, for our first thing we did, Monster Jam with my diecast tour would visit East Rutherford, New Jersey for the second to last stop on Stadium Championship Series East. And this was a pretty big event here in East Rutherford. East Rutherford's always a good time for my diecast tour, from getting over 100,000 views back in 2022 to all the amazing shows we've done there. We were super happy to make a return here. This was where we ended everything for the 2024 Monster Jam season. This was our end of year show, and now here we are. And then now 6 months had gone by, and we were back all ready to kick off the summer break of 2025. And the results from that show are the following. Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger would end up winning Racing Skills, the overall event championship, and he would be crowned the 2025 Stadium Championship Series East champion. And Armando Castro and El Toro Loco would win freestyle. This is a really critical event out here, as Tyler Menninga would clinch the points series early out here in East Rutherford, due to him having more points than which mathematically eliminated Barry Musauer and Jim Kohler from winning the series. And he would be automatically crowned the champion. We kind of knew heading into the event that it was very likely that if Tyler had a decent performance, he was going to be able to take home this points championship, and he was able to do that. Barry and Jim, they gave it all they had, but sadly just was not enough, and Tyler Menninga would walk away as the series champion. And one other cool thing that we did have from the event is we debuted an all-new Avenger body, that being the Nitro Avenger body, made its debut at that event in East Rutherford, and Jim Kohler rocked it out and did really good in that body and with that paint scheme. And he had a really great performance, and he performed really well at that event with that brand new Nitro body, and all the fans definitely loved it. The next event that we did for the diecast tour was going to be at Fort Myers, Florida on May 26th for Memorial Day. Now, Fort Myers and Captiva Island, this has been a show I've been trying to do now for quite a long time now. I've been trying to do another show there ever since 2022, and sadly it just has not worked out. 2022, when we really did our first ever full season of filming diecast stuff, that was our first full-time season. We wanted to bring Monster back to Fort Myers and Captiva, but sadly it did not work out because with the rules with that season, and is that we had to have all the point series and all the shows for quarter one wrapped up before the IRL World Finals, and I did not go to Captiva that year until 1 week after the Real Life Monster Jam World Finals. So so sadly it did not work out due to the rules of that season. And then come 2023, we tried it again, but sadly due to a hurricane that ended up destroying the entire island nearly like 8 to 9 months prior to the summer break starting, due to the island getting absolutely destroyed. It was not rebuilt in time for us to go down there and visit that summer break, so we could not do the show down there, hence why we did Venice, Florida instead of Fort Myers that year. And then 2024, we tried to see if we could squeeze the show in before the World Finals happened. We were going to try to do it Memorial Day weekend yet again, but sadly due to some stuff going on with my mom's work or something like that, and her not being able to take time off during the week we wanted to do the show, it sadly did not work out. We did not end up going to Captiva until after until literally we left for 2024. We did not leave for our Fort Myers trip until the day after my Diecast World Finals for Inglewood at SoFi Stadium. And we decided we didn't want to do an event in Captiva to give the Diecast League a bit of a rest after they're coming off a huge event like World Finals. We didn't want to immediately hop straight into another event just days afterwards. So sadly, it did not work out. But here we are, 2025. It finally worked out, and we were able to do the show. And this was the first of 2 shows that we did. And the results will go as followed. Race Adam Anderson and Gravedigger would win racing. Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger would win skills in the overall event championship. And Zach Garner and Wildside would win freestyle. Some really special and cool, unique things that I can comment about this show. If you guys saw the video, which hopefully you guys have, definitely go check it out if you haven't already. Which is Matt, my good buddy Max, who you may remember maybe from the Miami videos, or from if you've gone to Monster Miami, you may have seen him around, or if you've seen some of my stuff, I've collaborated with him on Instagram. But yeah, Max, one of my good buddies from South Florida, he came up to come help us out and came and collaborate and do the show with us on that day. It was very cool of him. It was definitely very nice of him to do that for us, and we finally got to be a part of it and getting to see actually one of these big Diecast leagues actually in person instead of through a screen, because Max has been a huge fan of the Diecast League for a while now, so it was great to bring him out and allow him to do one with him in person. And he's definitely a big help, as well as some of the things that you have to complain about the shows, that the show could have been a bit better, and I kind of feel bad that Max kind of saw more of a mid show, and this was not one of our best shows from the summer. In fact, out of all the stadium shows we did, this one was probably the worst one. I kind of felt bad that Max kind of had a bit more of a mid show. He kind of picked a bad spot to do it. The sand there was very loose, and it just wasn't hard enough. It wasn't hard and compact, so it definitely made it very difficult to do the show. It was definitely the show was definitely very tough to do and perform, and plus it was also extremely hot as well. So crawling out there on the hot sand was definitely hard as well. So, and big thanks to Max as he ended up doing the skills challenge while I did freestyle. So big thanks to Max for helping me through that. If I had to do this show all by myself, I don't know if I could have made it. So big thank you to Max. And the show, if we could have had more compact sand, I think the show would have been really awesome. Also, you gotta complain about this one thing. Max was also the guest judge as well for the show during freestyle. And to be honest with you guys, I don't know. While he did do a good job, I do think he picked the wrong winner, though, for freestyle. In my opinion, I think the winner should have been Bryce Kenny in Monster Mutt, not Zach Garner Wildside. Bryce had a really great run, some pretty big air as well. Oh, and he actually filled the time. He didn't really have too many unrealistic saves as well. Also, we kind of wish Bryce could have won, but sadly it did not work out. Zach Garner would get the win, and picking up his 3rd freestyle win in a row on that tour, considering he had just won the previous 2 from Seattle and Inglewood. So but still Max did a good job, and maybe we could see him return as a judge sometime in the future. Then our next show that we did, it was the next day, May 27th, for the finale of Stadium Championship Series East. Everybody's ready to let it all hang out. I mean, we'd already seen from just literally 3 days prior, we saw Tyler Menninga already clinch the series, so it didn't matter anymore. Everybody just wanted to have a strong ending to the season. Everybody was ready to burn it down at show 2, and the results go as followed. Barry Musauer and Zombie would win racing. Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger would win skills, the overall event championship, and would be crowned yet again as the 2025 Stadium Championship Series East champion. And Camden Murphy and Classroom Crusher would win freestyle. Now, wow. Everybody, when I say wow, man, I have to say that Fort Myers Show 2 was probably one of the best shows, probably in the, not only of just that, was not only the best show, not only of the Fort Myers Captiva shows, not only was it the best out of all those shows, not only was it one of the best shows of the summer break, or even of the season, it was probably one of the best regular stadium shows, or one of the best shows we've done on the Diecast League, just period. It's up there with some of the best Steel Titans shows, like Detroit 2024 or Detroit 2023. It's also up there with the grandparents' house event. Like, it's probably one of the best non-World Finals events we have done in Diecast League. I mean, freestyle was just absolutely off the hook. Everybody was going big. We had the perfect track conditions. It wasn't nearly as hot. The weather was a bit better compared to the previous day, and it was overall a very fun and great show. Oh, and it was definitely probably one of the best shows we've done. Probably out of all the shows we did, minus the World Finals, because of course the World Finals is always going to be the GOAT. It's always going to be the best. But this is probably the best diecast show we had done the entirety of the summer. So, it was really crazy. It was a really fun time. It was a really great event that we did. And Camden Murphy, while getting the freestyle win, was also really good as well. Camden Murphy was definitely probably one of the best freestylers out of everybody on Stadium East this year, and I felt as if he should have gotten more wins. I think Camden Murphy ended this season in Classroom Crusher's debut season. I think he ended it with either 1 or 2 freestyle wins. I know he got one in Fort Myers, and I can't remember if he gotten one earlier on in the season, but man, Camden Murphy had just been burning it down nearly every single show since Jacksonville. It seems like Camden Murphy was just on his A game, just laying down this many great freestyle runs, many of which probably were robbed and that he probably should have gotten the win for, but it sadly didn't work out for him. And for him to get this win was super duper good for him. He laid down a really great run, and probably, in my opinion, the Stadium Freestyle of the season. Although the Stadium Freestyle, he did not get the win for Stadium Freestyle. It ended up going to Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken from nearly a month later after this event when he got his freestyle win from Show 2. And I would have to say that this is probably Stadium Freestyle of the Year easily right here from Camden Murphy and Classroom Crusher. And Camden definitely has a bright future in this Classroom Crusher truck in this Diecast League heading into the next season. So, great show, very fun time, and it was just an overall very fun time going down to Fort Myers in Captiva after the week after graduating and finishing 11th grade. There was no better way to spend it than at the beautiful Fort Myers, Florida, at Captiva Island. It was a very fun time and probably one of my favorite Fort Myers Captiva trips to date. I have to say this one places around second place. And it was a really fun time, and we cannot wait to hopefully bring Monster Jam back to Fort Myers in the very near future. Alright, our next over the Diecast League was also another big one, as Fort Myers is definitely probably one of the biggest tracks that we had all season. Another track that was also kind of rivaled Fort Myers for biggest track of the season. Definitely has to go to Atlanta, at Atlanta Motor Speedway, for the 4th and 3rd to last stops here on Stadium Championship Series West. We'll go ahead and start things off with Show 1 with the results. With Show 1 results, Cole Vennard in Black Pearl would win Racing. Ryan Anderson and Son of Digger would win Skills in the overall event championship. And Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt would win Freestyle. Atlanta Show 1 was definitely very interesting, as in Atlanta this year we debuted a brand new track idea for Atlanta that kind of uses some aspects from Stadium Championship Series East, where you kind of start off a little ramp, then you turn up into the berms, and then you got the straight line part towards the end. It's probably like Stadium East Atlanta style racing, I guess you can say, or Stadium East drag style racing, I guess we can almost call that. It was definitely proved to be very interesting compared to what we've seen in Atlanta the past 2 years. And Cole Vennard, he seems like he's always having great luck in Atlanta as he brings home another racing win. It's his second on the season and at this point. And then Ryan Anderson laid down a really great skills run with some pretty cool bicycle sidewall saves. And then Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt would take Zach Garner's win streak of 3 freestyle wins in a row. He put it to an end by taking home the freestyle win. It was such a great moment for Bryce, as Bryce has had a bit of a struggle this season. Monster Mutt, as this was his first year behind the wheel of that truck in a very long time. And the chassis that he's driving controls definitely very differently compared to Mohawk Warrior. Mohawk Warrior's aerodynamics and the truck's weight is definitely very lighter compared to Monster Mutt. So it's definitely a bit of a struggle for Bryce Kenny judging the Monster Mutt this season. He definitely really struggled with that truck in freestyle. So to finally see him get a freestyle win was just super good. I mean, he already did have a freestyle win already in Vancouver. from earlier on in the season, but on the stadium level to finally see Bryce Kenny take home a win. Win was really awesome, and we're very happy that he got this win in Atlanta. Show 1, and it was definitely a very difficult track out here. Always it seems like Atlanta Show 1's freestyle competition always struggles a little bit because the drivers are trying to get used to the track and trying to maneuver around this big track. And it was also definitely very difficult as well during this event because like nearly the left side end of the track that was down towards by the shed, it was very hard to see because by the time freestyle started, it was dark. The show originally was supposed to start at 5 p.m., but due to me going to church and being at a friend's house, we sadly had to push the showtime start back to 7 p.m. So, so freestyle had to take place in the dark, sadly, which definitely made it a bit harder to see out there on the porch. I remember like during freestyle, I had a very hard time seeing everything out there. So it's definitely very difficult. And great job for Bryce Kenny to take home the win. And then in show 2, Tristan England and JCB Digatron would end up winning racing and the overall event championship. Ryan Anderson won skills, and Zach Garner in Wildside would win freestyle. Zach Garner, Wildside in that freestyle competition. He had a really great run in freestyle, getting some of the biggest air we've ever seen. Some of the air Zach got during that freestyle run actually went above the cameraman. Like the truck was literally flying where the truck was flying outside of the shot of the camera. He's getting such big air on that track. And a very interesting fact about this event, we had perfect track conditions as weather once again played a factor. Unlike in Fort Myers where it was too hot, this time, like literally towards the end of pit party, it just started raining. Almost like nearly like 2 hours before the show started, like towards the very end of pit party, it just started raining outside. Luckily, the rain didn't pour too hard to where the track got completely destroyed and swept away, but it still did rain and still did leave the track quite wet. And then the dirt crew luckily went out there like before the show started, like 90 minutes before the show started. They went out there, they dried up the track, and they got everything ready to go, and it created pretty good track conditions for the event. Made some of these ramps extra compact and hard, where these drivers were able to just absolutely send it and get some really massive air. And it was really good. It was a really good freestyle competition. Show 2 Atlanta is always really good each and every single year at this speedway, and we're very happy Zach Garner was able to take home the freestyle win. Also, I do want to also give a shout out to Matt Pagliarulo and Jester. He's kind of like almost like an MVP of the weekend. That was definitely Matt Pagliarulo and Jester's best weekend of the entire season, as he was finishing with 20 plus points at the end of every event, and he had a really great weekend that weekend in Atlanta. Next up, we move to our finale for Arena Championship Series Central that happened from June 13th through 15th. And it was the finale, and this was also the first time during Summer Break where we had the Monster Dirt Arena actually incorporated in the events, as we did have a Monster Dirt Arena show for South Haven, and it was definitely really good. We actually spiced up the track a little bit and actually painted the track a little bit with chalk, making it that red, white, and blue theme, since World Finals was right around the corner, and World Finals was of course going to be red, white, and blue. So we had a really great track and 4 events, and it was going to be a marathon weekend here on the Dirt Arena. And luckily this time we didn't have to deal with any weather. We weren't outside, unlike for Atlanta and Fort Myers. We got to be nice inside with a nice AC, where there's no rain, no over excruciating heat. So it's going to be a great weekend for a finale. Let's go ahead and start off with the results here. For show 1, Jamie Sullivan and Sparkle Smash would end up winning racing, freestyle, and the overall event championship. And John Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity would win skills. And then in show 2, we'd see Montana Robbins and Plain Crazy win racing, and John Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity would win skills, freestyle, and the overall event championship. In show 3, Trident Robbins and Crazy Train would win racing, and John Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity would win skills, freestyle, and the overall event championship. Then lastly out here in show number 4, Jamie Sullivan and Sparkle Smash would win racing, freestyle, and be crowned the 2025 Arena Championship Series Central Champion. And John Zimmer Jr. and Terminal Velocity would win Skills and the overall event championship. Man, it was a really interesting weekend here from South Haven. I mean, it was constantly for like this for racing. It was like a constant battle between Jamie Sullivan and the Robbins brothers. The Robbins brothers would take home their wins on Saturday in the Saturday events. Meanwhile, Jamie Sullivan would take it home on the she would take it home on the Friday and Sunday events. And then John Zimmer Jr. complete clean sweep the weekend in skills. And John Zimmer Jr. is able to take home the freestyle wins on Saturday, while Jamie Sullivan got the wins on Friday and Sunday. And John Zimmer Jr. won all the overall event championships except for the one in Show 1. And John Zimmer Jr. definitely gave it his all. He tried to make a comeback. If we had had another weekend of shows for this tour, another weekend for this series, I think John Zimmer Jr. could have almost very easily made the comeback and taken home the series championship. But sadly, it didn't happen, and Jamie Sullivan would win Arena Series Central. Jamie Sullivan, this is a very big moment for her. In only her third season of Monster Jam, she was able to bring home that series championship. And it was definitely a very surreal and very emotional moment for her. As this is the first time we've had a female win a series title since 2020. The last time we saw a female win a series was back in 2020, where Kristen Anderson and Gravedigger was able to win Triple Threat Series Central. And then we also went to go see Kaylin Miguez and Monster Much Dalmatian win the Arena Championship Series. So it had been over 5 years since a female had won a series championship on the Diecast Tour. So, we are very, very happy to see Jamie Sullivan take home this points tour win this season. And as she burned it down, had a great season this year, best season in her entire career. I mean, she burned it down at every single show. She was so good in the racing, skywheeling, and freestyle competitions, where she was constantly winning all those competitions. She'd always finish consistently in skills as well. And it was just a great season for Jamie Sullivan. While she may have had a hard time and fallen off a little bit in March, she luckily have a strong ending to the season and win the tour championship, and we are super duper proud of her, and she looks to go into next season to defend her title. Also, first off, real quickly, I'd love to say it, but the weekend before Colorado Springs, Colorado happened, I got my driver's license, so that was a pretty big accomplishment for me this summer, was to be able to get my driver's license after years of work, and and hours of practice, we finally able to get it, and one of my biggest accomplishments yet in life. But after we got that, we celebrated getting my driver's license by having another great weekend of Monster Jam the next weekend, June 20th through 22nd, for our finale stops on Arena Championship Series East. And this would mark the return of the Overboard team, taking place with the Hull brothers, because the Hull brothers were, they had some family issues going on, and they could not make it out to the event. So Mark Hawley called up Jamie Garner, and Jamie Garner decided to come in and fill in to do this event. And let's go ahead and see the results. In Show 1, Kristen Anderson and Gravedigger would win Racing, Freestyle, and the overall event championship. And Brandon Telechka and Just Get Her Done 2 would win Skills. In Show 2, MJ Solorio and El Toro Loco would win Racing. Brandon Telechka and Just Get Her Done 2 would win Skills. And Zach Garner and Wildside would win Freestyle and the overall event championship. In Show 3, Zach Garner and Wildside would win Racing and the overall event championship. Blake Granger and Monster Dalmatia would win Skills. And Brandon Telechka and Just Get Her Done 2 would win Freestyle. Then finally for Show 4 in the finale of the tour, MJ Solorio and El Toro Loco would win Racing. Brandon Telechka and Just Get Her Done 2 would win Skills. And the overall event championship, Zach Garner and Wildside would win Freestyle, and Tony Oaks and Thunder Roris would be crowned your 2025 Arena Championship Series East champion. Now, first off, this week in Colorado Springs was really good. Out of the 8 arena shows that we did, I definitely like the Colorado Springs shows a lot better than, way better than South Haven. To be honest with you guys, South Haven, while they were good shows, South Haven was probably my least favorite shows I did over the summer. mainly because of the Monster Dirt Arena, and it got kind of repetitive after a while. The pool table arena shows that we did for Colorado Springs were definitely refreshing. It's something different for the tour, as for the first time since last year we've done a pool table arena show in that kind of fashion. I know we did do quite a few pool table arena shows, like Colorado Springs last year for shows like Berlin, Birmingham, Munich, Orlando, Sunrise, Tampa, and Zurich. We did those arena shows on the pool table, just like Colorado Springs, and the action was definitely really good throughout the whole weekend. It was a really, really fun weekend, and it was definitely a very close battle that weekend between Christian Anderson and Tony Oaks. And Tony Oaks, he may have struggled that weekend, picking up no competition wins, but luckily he's able to win it all and get his first series championship. Like Jamie Sullivan, this is such a very proud-hearted and a very emotional moment for Tony Oaks. I mean, he had been working at trying to win a series. He's been competing on points tours now ever since 2018. So after 7 years of chasing, he finally won a tour championship. And this was just such a great moment for Tony Oaks to be able to do that. He'd been working so hard and has come up close many times. And to now finally get it was just super duper awesome. And we're super duper proud of Tony for getting this win on this tour, and he would finally get himself his first ever invite into the Monster Jam World Finals for the very first time in his career, something he had been chasing for 9 years now. He had finally gotten that invite into the World Finals, and it would be a great way to end off the weekend here in Colorado Springs. Next up, Monster Jam we'd have our final shows before World Finals from June 28th through June 29th in Miami, Florida for the finale of Stadium Championship Series West. Miami had returned to the summer break schedule, this year for the first time since 2023. And while we do have a lot of returning competitors from 2023, like Adam Anderson, Caleb Blood, Todd LeDuc, Jamie Garner, Bryce Kenny, Cole Bernard, Matt Pagliarulo, and Nick Pagliarulo. We also did have some new competitors who are new to Miami for the 2025 for the summer break. Some drivers who had not competed the last time we had Miami during the summer break in 2020. In 2023, like Tristan England, Ryan Anderson, Zach Garner, and Michael Pagliarulo. And so we were ready, and everybody's ready to go, and they were locked in. I mean, this is the final show before World Finals in the shops for all these trucks except for the Team Overboard trucks, being El Toro Loco, Wildside, and Black Pearl. Their shops were located somewhere in Florida, so it wasn't that far of a drive for them. All the Feld trucks are in Ellington, and then the Tomfoolery team was in Osteen, Florida, so it wasn't that far of a drive for everybody to get back home. So everybody was ready to burn it down and ready to stuff these trucks in the trailer after this event. Let's go ahead and see what the results were as a reminder. So first up in show 1, Cole Bernard and Black Pearl would end up winning Racing, Freestyle, and the overall event championship, and Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt would win Skills. Great event for Cole Bernard. Cole Bernard was looking for redemption in Miami as the previous year here in 2024. Cole Bernard, he couldn't make it out to Miami due to an injury he had sustained nearly over like a month and a half prior from Minneapolis, where he broke a bone in his arm after burning it down in freestyle. So it's definitely very unfortunate that Cole could not compete. So luckily he came out this year ready with a vengeance, and he did really great in show 1, winning racing and freestyle and taking home that overall event championship win. Winning 2 out of 3 competitions, I mean, he could not be any happier. And he was super happy to burn it down for the Miami fans who had missed out on seeing him last year. So, he made up for lost time, and he had a great event. And Bryce Kenny did really good taking home that skills win. And then in show 2, Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger would win racing in the overall event championship. Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt would win skills. Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken would win freestyle. And Tristan England and JCB Digatron would be crowned your 2025 Stadium Championship Series West champion. This event was a really great stop and great finale stop for Stadium Tour West, as everybody went all out the fans to try to burn it down and give you guys one last good show on this one last stop here on this tour, and everybody burned it down and did great at that show in freestyle. You know, the two biggest highlights were definitely coming from Nick Pagliarulo and Tristan England with their wins. One of the biggest talking points from this event. Nick Pagliarulo had finally won his first ever career stadium freestyle win in Miami. As Nick, you know, he's been trying so hard now over the past 3 years to try to get himself this win, and he had finally gotten it. Nick, you know, Nick, you know, he loves Miami. He's been competing there for a very long time now. He's been competing there every year, almost every year since 2019. The only years he skipped were 2021 and 2022. Those are the only 2 years he skipped Miami. But he's been competing there every other year. He competed there in 2019, 2020, 2023, 2024, and now 2025. And Nick has always been known to have crazy moments in Miami. And so he was super duper happy to have this win here in front of all the fans here. It's almost a home show for him, and it was definitely a very emotional moment for all of for the whole tomfoolery team. As you know, everybody's definitely cheering him on, and Jacob, we all know, got very excited in the stands when it was announced that Nick was going to be your freestyle winner, and he laid down a really great run. It was very clean run, one of the cleanest runs we'd seen all season long. He nailed the Morgan backflip ramp, had great air, great momentum, and it was just an overall very great run from Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken. And it is definitely very, very hard to win freestyle on this tour. I mean, there are just so many great competitors on this tour, like Ryan Anderson, Tristan England, Bryce Kenny, Adam Anderson, Caleb Blood, his younger brother, Michael Pagliarulo, Jamie Garner, Cole Vennard, Zach Garner. There were just so many great competitors on this tour, and it was very difficult to win, but Nick was super happy he was able to finally get this first career win in the final show of the year. And this was a very big moment for Tomfoolery Motorsports. This is where it all started for them. Was in Miami back in 2015. So Nick was very happy to get this win here, and this is almost like a full circle moment here. This is a place where Jester debuted in January of 2015, and now 10 years later, or now in June of 2025, Nick is taking home his first career freestyle win in Miami, and the team has just grown so much in that time in between those Miami events, and very super proud for Nick Pagliarulo for getting this win. And Tristan England winning his first stadium tour and only his second year competing was really good. Tristan had a great season last year on Stadium East, falling short to Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger. But this year he came in, he was locked in. It was his second time on a stadium tour, so he was ready to go for this event, and he absolutely burned it down on this whole season. And you know, he's very locked in, determined to get that series championship, and he's able to get it. So it's a very great moment, very emotional moment for Tristan England to get his first stadium championship series win. And you know, the only thing Tristan England is missing now is just a World Finals championship. That is all he is missing. And he'll probably almost have the full package complete for just an excellent career in Monster Jam so far. And hopefully we maybe see Tristan England win another tour championship during summer next year, and maybe even get himself, you know, a world championship as well. All right, leaving Miami, we'd immediately head into the next week after. We head out to the real-life Monster Jam World Finals in Salt Lake City. Now, you know, I'm not going to go too in-depth about this. I mean, I already do have an in-depth review on Monster Jam World Finals, so, you know, go check that out if you haven't already. See all my thoughts. But, you know, World Finals, as a real quick sum up, World Finals was a really fun weekend. While this probably was not the best World Finals I had attended, I do have to say, out of the 5 World Finals I've now attended, this one probably takes around 4th place for me. I do think this was better than the one in Nashville, but I still do think the 2 Orlando World Finals and the one from Inglewood are still definitely my favorite ones that I've attended still. Oh, but it was still a very fun time at this year's World Finals. It was fun hanging out with all the community. It's fun to get the chance to actually attend and see the Last Chance qualifier, and get to go there for all 3 days worth of action. Now, there are some stuff I did have some critiques on. Like, I kind of did wish, you know, I got more views on some of the videos. Like, I really wish my Wednesday at the Stadium vlog could have blown up like how it did last year at Inglewood at SoFi. And and I do wish that the encore stunts were maybe a little bit better as well, with the tech deck, with the rec deck, and the smash spot stunt. And I do wish that maybe high jump and freestyle could have been a bit better, as well as the Saturday freestyle competition. And but still, it was overall a very fun weekend. It was a fun birthday celebration weekend for me to celebrate my 17th birthday, probably my best birthday, without a doubt ever. There's like no doubt about it. This is my best favorite birthday ever, without a doubt. And all the community members, there's everybody in the community made it super super special, and it wouldn't have been as good without everybody in the Monster community to be there, and we all had a great time. It was a great event, and I cannot wait to go back to Salt Lake City next year. Next up, we would take some time off from YouTube after this to get everything in preparation for my Diecast Monster Jam World Finals in Salt Lake City, Utah, at Rice-Eccles Stadium for the 26th edition of my Diecast World Finals. Let's go ahead and break down some results from what happened. So first off, I didn't make a World Finals review video this year. I just never got around to it, and I just didn't feel like doing it. So I'm gonna kind of give you guys a little bit of a review right now, real quickly. But to kick the week off, we built the track. It was a really cool track here. We kind of bring back the elevated part for the first time since 2023. And then we ran practice on Wednesday, went really well. Then on Thursday, we end up starting it off with the pit party. And the pit party live stream, we still will always have technical difficulties. It ain't a Monster Jam World Finals pit party live stream from SpongeBob fan if there ain't no technical difficulties. Some of the technical difficulties were a bit difficult on the live stream, but we still had a very fun time unveiling new trucks. We unveiled all the Stars and Stripes trucks and 3 new trucks from Tomfoolery Motorsports. That being the Black Jester, the all-new Misfire truck, and the Stars and Stripes Kraken. So it was a very fun time at the Thursday pit party, and then we moved inside for the big event with the main field qualifying and the LCQ. And the LCQ qualifying, Fernando Martinez would qualify the fastest. Then the main field qualifying, Weston Anderson and Gravedigger, Red Primer, would qualify the fastest. And then we moved on into the LCQ, which is very fun, very great racing. We're very happy to having brought this back for the first time since 2023, and it was a very fun event, and great job though. Big congratulations, I do have to say, to Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken for getting the win and making the invite into the main field, taking down Devin Winfield in Velociraptor for the win. Team Thought Monster is definitely very bummed that they could not get any of their trucks into the main field at World Finals this year. But Nick, he was definitely very hungry to make it into the main field after being put in the LCQ, because he wanted to go out and get some redemption from last year's World Finals, where he ended up laying down a great freestyle run, but got underscored. So Nick super duper happy to be back in the World Finals main field. And then we move into Friday, where we end up getting to start off with the pit party with another very long all-day pit party live stream, where we got to unveil a bunch of brand new trucks. We got to see lots of new stuff. We got to see all the new Gravedigger bodies. We got to see the all-new JCB Digatron with the 80th anniversary scheme. We got to see the all-new Yellow Sparkle Smash. We got to see just a bunch of really cool stuff as well. We got from the Independents. We got to see the all-new Silver Excalibur, Red, White, and Blue Avenger, and we also got to see the all-new Army-themed, camo-themed Wild Side and the Blue Terminal Velocity. It was all really, really cool. All really, really cool bodies that we got to see make their unveil. And it was a very fun time hanging out at the pit party, listening to the music. It was very good. And then we move into the event itself, where we got to see Bryce Kenny start the event off with the Rec Deck stunt. Where Bryce Kenny went down and laid down an awesome free exhibition freestyle run in Rec Deck, and he had a great run. Although he destroyed the body, almost immediately, it was still really, really great freestyle from him. him that probably would have placed high, and it was even better than some of the freestyle runs that we actually saw in the main competition. And then we moved into skills with 2 rounds of hits. Blake Granger would take it all home in Monster Mutt Dalmatian. He would take home the win, winning the championship, and it would be a really great moment. And then after that, we'd see racing competition, and it was really good. Toddler Duke and Megalodon Stars and Stripes would take down Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger in the final round, and what practically was almost like a rematch from the 2016 final round race from Easter of 2016. With Toddler Duke, however, this time Toddler Duke was in Megalodon instead of Metal Militia. And it was a great job seeing Toddler Duke getting the win after announcing his retirement from the sport. So it was very, very fun. So it was very great to see him get a chance to get that one last World Championship in. And then we get to see after that we get to see we get to see a 4th of July fireworks show. Brought to you by Vettex, and it was a really cool fireworks show that we had getting to see all the fireworks go off, and we flooded the track with all the trucks. It was very cool. It was very fun on a chance to get to see that, and it was overall, and it was a great way to wrap up Friday. And we headed into Saturday. We had the Pit Party live stream. While this Pit Party may not have been as fun as the Friday or Saturday ones, it was still really cool to get to unveil the all-new Shell Shock, which was the big thing that happened for Team Throttle Monster. That will be Dalton Widener's brand new truck. And then we just enjoyed the rest of the Pit Party. And then we went inside and we did the truck parade. Getting to see all the trucks drive around the track was really cool. Well, during the parade. And then we moved into the event. We kicked everything off with the JCB Digatron Smashbot stunt, where Tristan England would absolutely smash through the Smashbot. Probably one of my favorite encores we've done for the channel. It was really, really cool to see Tristan actually obliterate through that styrofoam bot and take the robot down. And you have a crazy crash as well. And it was a really cool moment. Then we moved into high jump. Colt Stevens would get the win in high jump, which was really cool for him. And then we got to see freestyle, where Armando Castro would take the win. And then we moved into Sunday, and we did the bowling thing, although the bowling was actually filmed 9 days prior to the video actually set to upload. And so because of all the busyness with the boys and everything, yeah, so we got to do the bowling video. The bowling video wasn't as good this year though compared to the previous years, due to the fact that we're missing out on Jackson Hughes. And Jackson Hughes could not make it out this year. He was busy up in Georgia at the time of filming the bowling, so we couldn't really bring to you guys a proper bowling video that we really wanted to bring to you guys for this year. But it was still a really fun bowling game. It was still very fun and very highly competitive, where I would win game 1, getting 3 strikes in a row, which is really crazy. My performance was probably some of my best in the bowling this year. And then and it was probably some of my best from compared to all the other years in the past. And then Jonas would win game 2. Jonas going 4 years in a row now and winning the bowling. It was very fun to get to see Jonas. He's so goated at bowling, maybe one of the best bowlers of all time. And then we moved into the award show. Award show is really cool, getting to hand out all the awards. Shout out to Max, who helped us out with the Rec Deck custom, as well as the awards, as well as he picked out most of the awards. While the awards picking may not have been his best from him, but we're still very grateful for the help. I do kind of think he picked out he was maybe a tiny bit biased on the Arena Freestyle and Stadium Freestyle of the Year award wins. He may have been slightly biased, but it was still very nice of him to help us out and pick out these awards for us. And it was a really, really great job. Really great job from Max for picking out these awards for us. And it was definitely very fun to see. And we had a great award show, ending it off giving the Lifetime Achievement Award to Toddler Duke, for his amazing career that he had in Monster Jam. And we had a great ending to Monster Jam World Finals 26. Now, a little bit more in depth on what I thought of these wins. First off, Blake Granger, Monster Dalmatian winning skills, really great for him. As you know, he went into this season as almost like last minute spot to drive Monster Dalmatian, and when Keith Speller gave him the call to ask him if he wanted to embrace this spotted puppy dog, and he decided to do it, and he was super glad he made the decision. The truck may have not been the best fit for him, but he still had a decent season with it during quarter one. He was able to take home lots of skills wins, make it into the lineup, and then win it all. After all the hardships and struggles Blake has been through in his Monster career, this was definitely a really, really surreal moment for him. And he's super happy he's able to get this win with his crazy maximum moonwalk that he did, and then moonwalked back, coming into the backflip, and then he got it like almost like into like a sidewall save, and then he ended up saving it. He was on a wheelie. He was on one wheel, and then he saved it back. Really cool moment. Great job from Blake Granger on getting that save and getting the skills challenge win. Todd LeDuc and Megalodon Stars and Stripes winning racing was also a really cool moment. Todd LeDuc, it's super duper cool for him to finally get that 4th World Finals Championship and end off his career on a strong and high note as taking down Ryan Anderson in the finals. Apparently, it was a rematch from 2016 back on Easter Sunday in Dade City, and now here we are, nearly 9 years later, and he was able to take him down once again to win his 2nd World Racing Championship, and it was such a great moment for Todd LeDuc. And we're super happy he was able to end off his career on a high note. Colt Stevens would end up winning high jump. It was also really like that week. That World Finals week was a big week for Colt Stevens. As earlier on in the week, before he headed on out to Salt Lake City, him and his wife had twins, and the twins were born literally the week of the event for Monster Jam World Finals, and that was definitely a really, really good moment for Colt to be able to get that win in front of get that win. He's on cloud 9 practically after. That's just the cherry on top to his week. That week, it was a very, really surreal moment for him. He was super happy he's able to finally win this World Finals Championship, as he absolutely just sent Thunder Roars to the moon to win high jump. Then Armando Castro and El Toro Loco would win freestyle. And ooh, man, I'm not sure about this one. Yet again, kind of like in the same situation of 2023. I don't think this was a deserved freestyle winner. In my opinion, there were many other runs that were way better than Armando Castro that should have won, but I guess the judges, they decided they really wanted to tick off myself and all the fans as well, and they wanted to get a reaction out of me. I think that's what was going on. I believe that's what was going on. But there are many other great runs in my opinion. I mean, no diss to Armando, he still laid down a good run, but I think there were many other runs that were way better than Armando that should have maybe won. I mean, the runs out of Blake Granger, Tyler Menninga, Ryan Anderson, Jim Kohler, Cole Vennard, those were all just outstanding runs. Michael Pagliarulo, Weston Anderson. I mean, there may even be more runs that that are not coming up right off the top of my head that were just so good that just sadly just could not get the lead. We were wanting somebody to try to get the lead away from Camden Murphy. Almost forgot about him. Yeah, Camden Murphy, he probably had the best run. That probably should have been the actual winner. The winner should have probably actually been either Ryan Anderson or Camden Murphy. They should have been the winners. But sadly, it just did not work out. Armando Castro would walk away with the win in freestyle. Still, great job for him. Armando had been burning it down all season long in freestyle, even taking home 3 freestyle wins, coming from San Diego Show 1, Houston Show 2, and East Rutherford. So, still a great job for him on taking home this freestyle win. He's going to be ready to head back to Salt Lake City next year to hopefully rightfully defend his title and prove his worth on why he is a freestyle champion, as he's going to try to hopefully go back-to-back. And also, one last thing I do want to complain about real quickly was with the bowling. I do think the format of this event, I'm thinking about changing it for next year's World Finals. Well, I already kind of did announce the dates to be a Friday, Saturday event. I kind of want to change the format up definitely a little bit for my Diecast World Finals next year, where I do plan on maybe trying to do a Saturday, Sunday event instead. As you know, if we do a Sunday event for World Finals and do freestyle on Sunday, that will allow us to have a different judge for freestyle, possibly. And I do believe the person, we can't reveal who, but the person who always judges the freestyle runs on Sunday, whenever we do a Sunday show and we have the freestyle competition judged, it is always way better compared to what we get from a Saturday event. Like that judge that we have judging on Sunday, it's definitely way better for whenever we have a Sunday show. It's definitely always way better than what we get for a Saturday show. So next year I'm considering changing the format to do a Sunday event for the 2-day format. And I also plan on not doing the main event on Friday. When I did the main event on Friday this year, that kind of really did hurt the bowling thing a little bit. The bowling is always one of my favorite parts of the World Finals, and always just had some iconic and just cool moments with me and the boys having fun bowling. And not doing bowling on a Friday this year definitely hurt. I think we could have done the bowling video instead on a Friday this year if we would have moved everything back one day. Like maybe we could have done bowling and LCQ and qualifying on Friday, and then do racing and skills on Saturday, and then doing high jump freestyle on Sunday. That would have been way better. I think we could have had a way better outcome for freestyle judging, and we could have actually had a proper bowling video because, you know, the Friday is always the prime day to get together with the boys and do the bowling thing like how we've done it in the other previous 3 years from 2022 throughout 2024. That format, doing on Fridays is way better because it's more easy for everybody's schedule. I have my mom home, so that way she can actually take us somewhere. Unlike in other days where my parents are busy working and stuff like that, and other days where the boys, they're busy doing stuff. So Friday was always just a prime date to do it, and, sadly it didn't work out this year. I knew eventually one of these years it was going to happen where we sadly could not get all 3 of the boys to make it out to the bowling. I knew that was going to happen at some point, and this year was the year it happened. But I'm hoping next year, since next year, maybe the final World Finals ever for the Diecast Tour, I'm hoping we can make it one big special event, and we can actually have the boys actually there to be a part of the bowling thing. We have both Jackson and Jonas with us. So that's the thing I do have to complain about the format that I may try to do next year. Like for next Thursday, I'm gonna try to plan. I may plan on just trying to do, or actually I may do this, since it may be hard to do LCQ and stuff like that, and if I want to do a pit party for the Thursday for the LCQ stuff, what I may do is I may still keep the schedule the same, almost like this year, where we do practice on Wednesday, we do pit party on Thursday with the LCQ in the main field qualifying. Friday can be bowling in the awards show. And then we can do, or actually we can just maybe keep Friday to just be bowling. And then maybe I can do skills and racing on Saturday. High jump freestyle Sunday. And then maybe I can either do the awards show either on the Monday after the event or do it on Friday night. So I don't know. That's stuff we'll have to think about, and more stuff I'll think about with the World Finals format and the schedule next year. And more information on that will be announced once the event gets closer. But still, another very fun Diecast World Finals that we did, and another one down for the books. Next up, everybody, we take a week off after that busy World Finals week, and then we'd be back in action for the real-life Monster Jam content, where on August 2nd and August 3rd, we do a first-ever record-breaking for me, where I do 2 different cities for Monster Jam in the same weekend. This is something I had never done before, and lots of other famous people in the Monster Truck community have done this before, where they've done multiple cities in one weekend. I know people like Monster Truck Lord, Monster Truck Reels, Avengers Racing, Mac Bulldog, Mac, and even AALS 3179 have done multi-city weekends. And there are probably other people in the community who have also done that, like Monster Truck Daily, Monster Truck Updates, Monster Truck Media. All these people have probably also done weeks like this as well. Oh, and lots of other people in the community have done it, but I've sadly still yet to have the chance to do it until this weekend, where finally we had the convenience of having Sunrise in Orlando on the same exact weekend, which was a little bit strange, but and take it. And we'll take it. We'll take the opportunity. We were able to do this. We went to Sunrise on Saturday, then went to Orlando on Sunday. The reason why I chose this is because there's this really cool mall called the Sawgrass Mills Mall that's literally right outside the arena. It's like right across the street from the arena in Sunrise. It's a really cool mall. I've been going there now for the past 3 years. I love that mall. It is super huge. It's super fun to explore and walk around. Like, that mall is really huge. Probably one of the biggest malls I have ever, one of the nicest and one of the biggest malls I have ever been into. So that's what I'm saying. I want to have a day where I can just explore around in there. So that's why I'd go down there and that's what I do every single Friday. I arrive for Sunrise, go around and explore that mall. And then, so, I want to have time to explore that mall, so that's why I decided to choose Sunrise for Saturday, then Orlando on Sunday. And plus, it also makes more sense traveling. And we head south first, then we head back up north to Orlando, and then we head home. So that way, complete like more of a circle a little bit, and it's more efficient. And so that way, I don't have to do a 4-hour drive home on Sunday, where I can instead just do a 90-minute drive home. So yeah, it was very fun weekend. Let's go ahead and talk about the shows and show one first in Sunrise. First off in show 1, Zach Gardner and Wildside would win racing and the overall event championship. Wes Anderson would win skills, and MJ Solario and El Toro Loco would win. Oh shoot! Wait a minute. I actually messed that up. Let me restart that. So the results from that show: Zach Gardner and Wildside would win timed racing in the overall event championship. MJ Solario and El Toro Loco would win skills, and Wes Anderson and Gravedigger would win freestyle. This event was pretty good. I had a fun time at this event, show 1, here in Sunrise. It was a great event, very fun time. I had a very fun time hanging out with Max. Had a fun time at the pit party, meeting all the drivers, and it was overall a very fun and decent event. While it's not the best event, I still had fun at it. I do think the freestyle runs from Weston and Zach Gardner were really good freestyle runs, and it was a very, very fun first event. And then the skills challenge was also good. Weston, MJ, and Zach all laid down pretty good runs and skills. And we head on into show 2, where Wes Anderson and Gravedigger win timed racing, two-wheel skills, and the overall event championship. And MJ Solario and El Toro Loco would win freestyle. Now, this event was definitely way better and definitely off the hook. Freestyle was really awesome. Weston, Brianna, Zach all laid down fantastic runs in freestyle. And we even got to see Kermit ride an overboard. Max's Kermit puppet got to ride inside of overboard, which was really cool. But it was a really, really, really great event. And then the freestyle runs, were also pretty good, and skills was pretty good as well. Weston, Zach, and Brianna all did really good in the skills challenge. And also, the biggest highlight from the event was Max, my good buddy Max. He finally got a chance to make it on the video board. And, he would actually get a chance to announce Brianna Mahan in Bailey Circuit. And I'm super proud that Max was able to do this and actually announce a truck and get on the video board for the very first time. I'm super proud of him. I remember the year previously in Sunrise, I got to announce MJ Solario and El Toro Loco. And now this year, Max got to announce Bailey Circuit, and even gave Brianna Mahan a custom die-cast toy that he made. It was a very cool moment for sure, and it's very fun. Another fun time in Sunrise. We miss it, and I cannot wait to go back next year. Then on Sunday, went to Orlando to the Kia Center, and Sunrise, fun fact, was also my first time getting to see Bailey Circuit and Miss Overboard, and Sunrise marked my first time seeing Deidre Garner drive for the first time. And we also got to see Corey Rummel drive Black Pearl as well, so it's very fun to get to see Corey Rummel again. Alright, then for Orlando, which the show 3 that I got to attend to, immediately after show 2 Sunrise, I immediately drove straight to Orlando. Got there around midnight. Then I went to bed and woke up the next morning. It was time for Orlando, the Kia Center. I had to do both in one weekend. I couldn't just choose one or the other. I wanted to do both weekends. I love Sunrise. It's a really nice neighborhood Sunrise is in. Sunrise is probably second to Birmingham as far as the nicest neighborhood that the venue is located in. And I had to, of course, see my buddy Max as well. And of course, I had to go out to Orlando just so I can get a chance to see some of the drivers in the lineup who I wouldn't get a chance to see again until probably next year. And also just to get the chance to do the two-city weekend and get to visit the very nice and very beautiful Kia Center. But in that show that I went to for Orlando, it was a fun time at the pit party. The show started. The results go as followed. Timed racing was won by Fernando Martinez in El Toro Loco, and Jamie Sullivan in Sparkle Smash would win two-wheel skills, freestyle, and the overall event championship. Now, this show has been disappointing for the fact that Colt Stevens could not compete due to blowing a motor in intros. He sadly could not get the chance to compete in the event. So it's very sad. We only got to see the 7-truck show. But I still do think freestyle was really good. I do think Fernando Martinez, I think he probably should have won freestyle. In fact, my one play I almost forgot to mention from Sunrise Show. From Sunrise Show 2, in my opinion, I don't think the freestyle winner, MJ Solario, I don't think he should have won. I think the winner should have either been Weston, Brianna, or Zach, because they all laid down really great runs. And then Orlando I don't think Jamie Sullivan should have won. Although she still had a good run, I think the winner should have actually been Fernando Martinez. But still, the freestyle runs from Jamie, Fernando, and Kristen definitely made up for it. And it was also very fun to also get to see Michael Pagliarulo and Excalibur as well. He's also on the verge of probably winning, but sadly he crashed early. And he was also having a great freestyle run as well, but sadly crashed early. And it was also my first time seeing Ramdemption and Michigan Ice Monster in person compete. The Hall brothers did all right. I mean, it was my first time seeing them since 2018. My first time actually seeing them compete since 2018. They did decent. And Matt Pagliarulo and Michigan Ice Monster, he laid down on some pretty great sky wheelies and skills. And he did a pretty good job there. So, it's very happy to see Matt Pagliarulo and have a great performance from him. And, the pit party was also very fun as well. And it was also very fun to get to see Jamie Sullivan's return to Monster Jam that weekend. And now I'll wrap Orlando in my first ever two-city weekend. I officially feel like Monster Truck Lord after that weekend. And we move into our final part of the summer break. That being the kickoff of the 2025/2026 International Tour in Melbourne, Australia. And this would mark the kickstart of the tour. We announced this back at the press conference. Let's go ahead and see the results from the show. Show number 1, we got to see Blake Granger, Max D win racing in the overall event championship. Camden Murphy and the Amazing Spider-Man won skills, and Charlie Pauken and Megalodon won freestyle. Great kickoff show for Melbourne. This show marked the return of Max D, and Blake Granger had a great strong return of Max D, winning racing in the overall event championship. That was very good for him. And then get to see Camden Murphy drive Spider-Man for the first time, win skills, was very awesome, and Charlie Pauken laid down a good freestyle run. Now, this stadium show wasn't really the best. In fact, out of all the stadium shows we did this summer, this one's probably my second to least favorite to that of Fort Myers Show 1. So, it's a decent event, and great start and great return to start off quarter 2 here in the Diecast Tour. Then we go over to Show 2, with the results go as following. Matt Cody and Gravedigger would win racing and the overall event championship. Charlie Pauken and Megalodon would win skills, and Jamie Sullivan and Thor would win freestyle. Man, this show is really off the hook. It was a really great show for Melbourne, and it was a really great final show here in Melbourne. For the first time, Monster Jam doing a show here for the first time in probably like 6 or 7 years from my Diecast Tour. It was a really fun and really great event, and Charlie Pauken had one of the craziest skills moves of all time with the slap where they comboed into the moonwalk, truck bounced, he did the nose pick, into the side of step up, got a crazy twist and a save. A really crazy move, probably the best moment we've so far seen here from quarter 2. And that could definitely get nominated as Wow Factor of the Year for sure. And then we see Jamie Sullivan and Thor lay down a great freestyle run and win her first ever career stadium freestyle win. As Jamie Sullivan has done probably less than 10 stadium events in her career, and she finally brought home a win, her first ever career freestyle win in the stadium's setting. It was definitely really, really cool for her. And you know, just another cherry on top to this amazing season Jamie Sullivan had. Jamie Sullivan is probably the true MVP of the summer break. As you know, out of all the drivers' performances, Jamie Sullivan certainly has accomplished a lot throughout summer break. From winning her first ever points tour in South Haven, her first World Finals appearance in Salt Lake City, and her first Stadium Freestyle win here in Melbourne. It's been really great here for Jamie Sullivan, and Jamie Sullivan is definitely not over yet with competing in quarter 2 or competing this year. She definitely still has quite a few shows left to go, and she cannot wait. We can't wait to see where Jamie Sullivan goes from here, and we can't wait to see what other kind of success she's going to have. And Matt Cody taking on the overall event championship is also really good. And leaving out of Melbourne and leaving out of summer break, Blake Granger will be the leader on the international tour so far with Team Max D. Team Max D holds the lead. And let's see if Blake Granger can carry that whole Team Max D to the Monster Jam World Finals next year. And that will practically make a wrap here for summer break of 2025. Wow, man, what a crazy summer it has been. Honestly, my expectations for this summer were really low after what happened last year. This summer is going to be kind of a little bit like last year. This summer kind of felt like it was going to be a combiner of 2023 slash 2024, a little bit of a combiner of both, with the format of how the diecast shows were going to work. And you know, everything like that. The format with that was very, very similar. And with the where the World Finals taking place at, with it taking place in July. And then I also had kind of expected 2024, where I thought the weekdays were going to be incredibly boring, boring and kind of lackluster, but then the weekends would be exciting. But that wasn't the case this summer. This summer was very busy and productive for me. At least, you know, with lots of different activities going on. It was a very fun time as well. You know, these activities weren't like you know, burning out or you know, because I remember I had to do like some FLVS course or something like that and speed running as well during summer break of 2023, which made that summer probably the busiest summer of all time. It was definitely summer break 2023. Just frankly, from all the diecast stuff on the weekends and the FLVS during the week and the speed running as well during the week, it was definitely very busy. And it was kind of busy, like not in a good way. I mean, the busyness, like, you know, kind of wasn't like as fun, I guess you could say. And like, you know, FLVS Algebra 1 that I had to do to get ahead for school the next season wasn't as good. It definitely required a lot of hard work. And then, of course, you know, speed running, while that is definitely fun, it definitely kind of became burning out, especially when I'm having to sit out there for hours and hours and hours playing the Battle for Bikini Bottom and stuff like that. And you know, it definitely was, you know, definitely kind of got burning out definitely a bit with the speed running. But this year is kind of busy in more of a fun way. And with what we have spent our time with doing during the week is definitely more busy and more fun. And that's definitely why so far I have to say that summer break 2025 definitely ranks right now to probably take second place out of summers of all time. While it still isn't as good or nostalgic as maybe 2022, it was still a really fun time. I had a fun time with all the diecast shows that we did. I had a fun time going to all the real life Monster Jam events in Salt Lake City, Orlando, and Sunrise. And I also had a very fun time at Fort Myers and Captiva Island as well. It was a really fun summer break, and I'm super happy you guys got to be along for the ride as well, where I took you guys with me and to do all these things. It was very, very fun time. You know, I thank you viewers for all the support you give me during the summer, and we cannot wait for next year. Next year, maybe the final summer break before we're off into the real world. So, you know, we're excited, and you know, I can't wait to take you viewers along with me. And the countdown has already started, and we cannot wait for summer break of 2026, and we hope to make it even bigger and better than this year. And with that, everybody, it's gonna be a wrap for summer break of 2025. By the time you guys are seeing this video, by the time this video is being recorded, we only have 9 hours left of summer break. We officially have less than 10 hours remaining before summer break is over. And by the time this video is uploaded, and when you maybe are watching this, by the time you're watching this, for some of you people, summer break may be over, or by the time this video should be published, we will probably only have maybe 8 hours remaining left on the summer break. So, you know, it's a very fun time. I mean, you know, we're just gonna, you know, I'm gonna probably, like, chillax, film another video, and just have a nice, chill, relaxing ending to summer break 2025. It's sad it's come to an end. But, man, we look at it, get many great memories that will last us a lifetime from the summer break. So thank you all. As these memories wouldn't be possible without you viewers. And thank you all for all the memories this summer break. Thank you all for watching all the videos as well. Please be sure to check them out. And we're very excited for next summer break. And be sure to check out all the videos that we uploaded during the summer. I hope everybody here likes, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you guys can be notified for when the content from next summer break comes out. And bye-bye, everybody. Have a God bless day. I hope you all had a great summer as well, and we cannot wait for next year. Peace out, everybody.